I didn't open the letter right away. It sat on my kitchen table, the paper already yellowed at the edges, as if it had been waiting too long, just like me. The handwriting was his, careful, familiar. Please meet me one last time, before it's too late. 8 years. That's how long it had been since my wedding day. The day my husband vanished minutes before I walked down the aisle. The day my sister slipped me a note written in lipstick. He's mine now. I didn't scream, didn't cry. I just folded the note, placed it in my bouquet, and walked into the reception hall alone. People called it a tragedy. I called it clarity. James and I met when I was 23 in a gallery downtown. He said my eyes reminded him of old film reels, soft, but holding secrets. I laughed. Back then, I thought secrets were romantic. He'd visit my apartment at odd hours, bringing cheap wine and long promises. My sister, Emily, adored him. She'd tease me, saying, "If you don't marry him, I will." I used to think it was a joke. But love blinds you differently when it comes from two directions. The betrayal didn't unfold all at once. It started small. James growing distant, Emily always nearby. I'd walk into a room and they'd pause mid-laughter. Their closeness was brushed off as family comfort. I convinced myself I was paranoid. Until the night before our wedding, when I found his cufflinks in her hotel room. That was the first crack. The note on the wedding day finished the job. I left the venue before anyone could see the truth. I remember the sound of my heels against the marble floor, steady, deliberate, not running, never running. That night I poured a glass of wine and deleted every photo of the three of us. Then I started planning. Revenge isn't born from rage, it's born from precision. I waited, I built, I worked my way up through my firm, collected power like currency. Meanwhile, Emily and James paraded their happiness online. New house, vacations, matching watches. But I noticed the cracks. The smiles didn't reach their eyes. He looked smaller beside her, and she looked desperate to keep him. I didn't need to destroy them. They were already doing it themselves. I just needed to direct the fall. I started with a whisper. A colleague of James's, someone ambitious, got a tip about accounting discrepancies in his company. Nothing concrete, just a question that begged for more. Within months, his reputation was bleeding. His investors fled. Then, one by one, I bought the properties they sold off. Quietly. Through a holding company named EM Holdings, Emily's initials. He'd never suspect me. I heard through mutual friends that they'd started fighting, that she'd accused him of cheating. I smiled. Poetic symmetry. Then came the letter. His handwriting trembled across the page. He said he'd made a terrible mistake, that Emily had changed, that he wanted to see me, just once, before it's too late. I almost laughed. The timing was perfect. The news had broken that morning. His company had filed for bankruptcy. His assets frozen. The home in her name foreclosed. I agreed to meet him. The cafe was nearly empty when I arrived. He was already there, smaller than I remembered, a shadow of the man who once promised forever. His hands shook as he lifted his coffee. "I didn't think you'd come," he said. "I almost didn't." He looked up, eyes wet. "I made a mistake, Claire. I should have chosen you." I tilted my head. "You did choose me, until you didn't." He swallowed hard. "Emily's gone. She left last week. Took everything." Of course she did. I'd seen the withdrawal records myself. I'd arranged them. "I'm ruined," he said, his voice cracking. "But I thought, maybe we could start over?" I studied him, the hollow cheeks, the guilt, the way his words stumbled over shame. I'd imagined this moment 100 times. In most versions, I screamed, threw my drink, cried. But now that it was real, I only felt calm. "You want forgiveness?" I said. He nodded. "Then you should know," I whispered, leaning closer. "You already got it. The day you left me." He frowned, confused. I smiled, slow and deliberate. because that was the day I learned what I'm capable of. I stood, left a folded check on the table, enough for his next coffee, nothing more, and walked out. The next morning I received the news. He'd been found in his apartment. Pills. No note. I didn't cry. I didn't smile either. Some things end quietly, the way they should. Emily called a week later. I let it go to voicemail. Her voice trembled through the speaker, begging me to talk. She didn't know I owned the company she now worked for. She didn't know her salary, her apartment, her comfort. All of it was in my hands. Not yet. People say revenge doesn't heal. They're wrong. It doesn't erase pain, but it gives it purpose. It turns chaos into control. And control, after betrayal, is the closest thing to peace. So I keep both letters now, his and hers, side by side in a drawer.